New developments in the military conflict between Russia and Ukraine. Russian President Vladimir Putin cites, quote, positive developments in negotiations. The leader did not offer specifics, but the comment temporarily caused the stock market to go significantly higher. Meantime, Moscow has requested a meeting with the UN Security Council. It accuses the United States of engaging in, quote, military biological activities in Ukraine. The U.S.'s UN mission dismissed the claim. All this as Russian forces move closer to Ukraine's capital city. Philip Crowther, Associated Press international affiliate reporter, joins us now from Ukraine. Philip, what's the latest?
Well, look, for the first time in this Russian invasion of Ukraine, we've seen airstrikes here in the west, in two cities, not all too far from where I am in Lviv, here in the west of the country. Those cities being Lutsk, first of all, and Ivano-Frankivsk. Now, they are around 130 to 150 kilometers away from here. And what happened there is that Russian airstrikes, according to the Russian Defense Ministry, took two military airfields out of action. Those are the words of the Russian Defense Ministry. The Ukrainian army says that in that attack in Lutsk, 4 Ukrainian soldiers lost their lives. So what we're seeing here is really a war that is coming that little bit closer here to the west, which was considered pretty much a safe place. And Lviv, remember where I am, is the place where millions of refugees have now passed through, over 1 million going to Poland alone. And this is also a place where a lot of humanitarian aid passes through from here toward the rest of Ukraine, the center and the east as well. Now, for the rest of what happened here today, well, I'm afraid more of the same, with airstrikes in the likes of the suburbs outside of the capital city Kiev, artillery fire in the city of Kharkiv in the north, and then, of course, you've heard about this place in the southeast of the country, the city of Mariupol, which has been under siege for 10 days and is still receiving Russian airstrikes as well.
Yeah, and I'm wondering, has Russia changed its military strategy in any way? We know they've been facing some fierce opposition from Ukraine.
Yeah, well, we've seen a few developments here. First of all, the tactics that you're seeing, I'm afraid you'll see more of besieged cities and pummeling from Russian airstrikes and artillery fire on those cities to get them essentially to their knees. But what we've seen in Kiev as well, in the capital and around it, rather, it seems to be a change of tactic. You've heard about this military convoy full of tanks that was moving toward the capital, but seemed to have been stopped somewhat. Well, that military convoy, some of the vehicles in that convoy have now moved to the surrounding cities, to the forests, somehow indicating that there might be something afoot. These are forces that want to surround the capital city, is believed by most military experts. And what we're seeing here in terms of a change of tactic, well, we don't know yet whether these were just tactical moves, pinpointed attacks on 2 airfields, as the Russian Defense Ministry says, or is this Vladimir Putin reminding the western part of the country that he can strike here too? We'll have to wait and see over the next few days whether this part of Ukraine that was considered pretty much safe beforehand will receive more of those airstrikes.
Philip, we only have about a minute left, but I'm curious. We had mentioned that Russia is accusing the U.S. of military biological activities in Ukraine, which the U.S. has denied. Separately, Reuters has been reporting that the World Health Organization has urged Ukraine to destroy high-level pathogens it may have at its public health laboratories in order to avoid any potential spills if those facilities are bombed. What more do you know about that, and how big of a concern is that right now?
Well, that's as bad as it gets during warfare, doesn't it? That those kinds of targets can develop, and that the Russian army might be looking for them even. A bit of a worst-case scenario, isn't it? A little bit like the Russian forces taking over the biggest nuclear power plant in all of Europe, as has already been the case. Now, back to those far-flung theories from Russia that the United States might be working on biological weapons in secret laboratories here. There is, of course, no proof of that. That has been roundly rejected by the international community and, of course, also by the United States. But add to that now the United States saying, and the Biden administration saying it very clearly, that when Russia accuses one country of possibly using or making biological weapons, then maybe the country that is accusing others might be the one to use them in the future. So in other words, the warning from the Biden administration is a very dire one, that Russia might be close to using or deciding to use chemical weapons here in Ukraine. Another nightmare scenario, but that could be possible considering how we've seen this conflict escalate, and it's only been just over 2 weeks.
Yeah, so very concerning. Philip, thank you so much for your time today, and as always, please stay safe.